We talk more about the Cubs bullpen. Do they still need to add on next?
You are Locked On Cubs, your daily Chicago Cubs podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
You are Locked On Cubs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day, alongside Sam Olber. I'm Matt Cozy. Sam and I are lifelong fans, taking our passion into discussion with you on all things Cubs. Thank you for being part of the show and making us your first listen today. The best way you can help us grow the show is to listen every day, like the video, and comment anything below. Today's episode is presented by our great partners at Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. We're discussing bullpen, MLB Network's upcoming top 10 list, and then 0 to 100 returns for the first time in a while. And a reminder to everyone out there listening and viewing, Cubs Convention meetup next Friday, 4 to 5:30, Shy Bar at the Sheraton Grand Chicago, and catch us as well as the setup man, Kyle Stanley, all weekend long at the convention. We're very, very excited for that. Sam, we're talking bullpen today because as of right now, the Cubs bullpen group is one of the weakest position groups of any possible contender in baseball. That's at least how the Athletics' Eno Saris described it on Tuesday, placing the Cubs bullpen as the fourth worst situation of any position group on a possible contending team entering the 2025 season. And just by bullpen rank alone, according to Fangraphs, the Cubs have the fifth worst bullpen. So, Sam, our focus today is on the pen, maybe some external candidates, and then I want to show you a list of the internal options right now because I laugh because it is kind of funny, although that's probably not the right word. 16 players of the Cubs 40-man roster currently are relief pitchers.
Yeah.
Almost half.
No, I think funny is the right word.
Okay.
Look, I haven't had a great day. I think it's kind of silly to project bullpens,
especially on January 7th.
It's just such a volatile position group. It changes year to year. What was Camilo Doval's projection heading into last year? What was David Bednar's projection heading into last year? And what was Kirby Yates's heading into last year? Like, it goes both ways. I think it's kind of silly to overanalyze the position group and what it's going to be. Now, I believe that the Cubs need more depth and more options because what hurt them last season is that when Adbert Alzolay and Hector Neris, who made it no mystery that they were not going to be very good last year, early in the year, by mid-April, you said it about Neris, and by mid-April, I was saying it about Adbert. Something's not right. I don't think it's going to, get fixed right away, but we also maintain that for this bullpen to be successful, those guys are going to have to figure it out. Why did they have to figure it out? Because the Cubs didn't really have any other options they liked there until midseason. They acquired Tyson Miller and Jorge Lopez. After they got those two guys, the bullpen kind of stabilized a bit. So what I think, and then Jed in his postseason presser said that it was on him that opening day they didn't have enough depth or pieces there. So I think two things are true. Number one, it's a little silly to say it's one of the worst position groups. It's comical. But I also think they need to get depth there and insurance just in case Porter Hodge doesn't work out, just in case Luke Little doesn't work out, just in case Ben Brown isn't comfortable in that situation. So that's where I'm at. I think it's laughable to say that they're horrible, but I also think that they need to get some insurance and depth, real depth. So, hey, you know what? Porter Hodge is struggling to find the zone. We don't have time to see if he can get right by Memorial Day. We need to close these games out right now. And that's where I stand on this issue.
So when you say depth or insurance, do you mean someone of a in the realm or the tier of Caleb Thielbar, or do you think it's someone more of impact talent?
Yeah, that's a great question. Great follow-up. That's why you host this show. it's not Caleb Thielbar. It's depth in the sense of one of the higher end guys, so you have multiple options to come in and close games. Thanks for that follow up. Because no, it's not a guy like Thielbar.
Well, I have 5 right-handed relievers that I've targeted, and I'll give you my reasoning why. First of all, because when I look at the free agent market, I want to eliminate 3 names immediately.
Okay.
Tanner Scott on a 3 or 4 year deal, I think is actually a good deal for any team in baseball. But I don't see the Cubs doing that.
I agree with you.
Jeff Hoffman, I'm close. I'm crossing off.
Are you close with Hoffman? You know him?
No, I'm crossing.
Why didn't you ever invite him out?
Off the list because I think he's going to sign with someone as a starter.
Really?
And then I would stay far, far away from Carlos Estevez.
Yeah, you've been really on that.
It's going to be brutal next year.
And are you just going off the projections? Because he's a hard throwing righty. I mean,
he throws hard, but look at his like you've mentioned recently, the Savant page, icy blue.
Is it?
Besides velocity, which is like 99th percentile.
Well, he throws hard. I know that. Let's take a quick peek. Okay.
No, take a quick peek at that because I think the Cubs are targeting a right-handed reliever of impact on a 1-year deal.
As expected ERA was 3.19. I wouldn't call that icy blue. That's fire engine red, sir. Expected batting average 220 is not bad. You're right, though. He did get hit hard. His average exit velocity was high. Didn't get a lot of chase. I see where you get it from.
Thank you.
But he's the type of guy that if they got, I wouldn't be upset because he's a guy that could come in and close games if you needed it. But he doesn't have to be great.
So due to those reasons of avoiding the long term, things like that. Also, the 16 of 40 guys on the 40-man right now, they have a lot of bulk down there, but not as much impact as they would like. With that being said, I think they're only going to sign one more guy on a major league deal in the relief group.
It's trending that way.
And I think it's, hey, 1 year, 10 million. Who takes it first? I got 5 names in that category. Ready?
Yeah.
Kirby Yates, David Robertson, Tommy Canely, Andrew Kittredge, Jose Leclerc.
Yeah.
Those are the 5 names. And the next tier, real quick, Sam. And by the way, if the Cubs get one of those 5, I would feel really good about it.
Wait. Yates, Leclerc, Canely, Robertson. Who is the 5th?
Kittredge.
Got it.
Yep. And then the next tier of righties, which would be a smaller contract, probably closer to 5 to 8 or something. Kenley Jansen, future Hall of Famer. Kyle Finnegan, horrible Savant page. Luis Garcia, Paul Sewald, and here's maybe a bonus second guy you could sign to a major league deal, Jorge Lopez.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Let me just confirm my research before I do this. Why is Kenley Jansen such an afterthought?
Yeah, I think it's because of his peripherals.
Well, I'm looking at him right now. I mean, he had a 3.29 ERA. His FIP was 3. He struck out.
Really?
He struck out 62 gentlemen in 54 innings. I mean, he didn't throw a whole lot of innings. How many saves did he have last year? He had 27 saves. Why is he such an afterthought? He was totally fine. He was better in 24 than he was in 23.
I don't think he's necessarily an afterthought. I just think he should be in the next tier right now.
And that's fine. And I hope the Cubs sign him.
Well, and I would like that. I would like if they signed him. I was a Kenley Jansen guy last year.
That's exactly what I mean when I say insurance. This is the exact guy I have in play. Hey, for a month or 2, he can carry the saves load if somebody's struggling. He's not afraid of the moment. He's obviously done it a lot. I mean, I'm looking at his pages here.
Yeah, he's a one-pitch guy, basically. Cutter 85% of the time.
Yeah.
Is that too one-dimensional?
Well, when he's right,
he get enough whiffs. He walked a few more guys last year. He got barreled pretty good.
Yeah, the numbers. It
would be a solid ad.
The numbers. The numbers. You could make the case he's trending a little bit down, but if he's a little bit down, that's still a really nice insurance ad.
Yeah, I would be fine including him in that group with the other 5. You could persuade me. He would be the one guy.
Would you really want?
Other guys, not that much.
I'm trying to, yeah, I don't know. I mean, is David Robertson that much better than Kenley Jansen?
I think he's a little better.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
But I think Jansen's in the same. I would give him an edge. You could persuade me him over Canley, or Kittredge, or Leclerc, 100%. Finnegan, I'm not that excited about. Seawald, I'm not excited. And
Yeah, David Robertson had a really good year last year.
yeah.
Wow.
Luis Garcia, I don't know too much about. And then the other name is Jorge Lopez, who the Cubs do know a lot about. Maybe they could bring him back. We'll see. Let me show you the 16 names on the 40-man.
Oh.
Because it's a group of volume, but again, where do these guys slot in? How do they project? How do they perform in the spring? How does this free agent market play out? If they get 2 of those guys, that would be a surprise, but a pleasant one for me. And
where are you at on Keegan Thompson?
What?
Where are you at on Keegan Thompson?
Yeah, lukewarm at best.
Okay.
Merriweather, same.
Yeah.
And I know he only threw probably a dozen or so innings last year, but I don't think he's a lock by any means. So that's the group right there. I think there's only four locks, maybe. Hodge, Miller.
I see Hodge, Miller, Pearson, Brown, Little. Those 5, I would say.
Yeah.
If healthy.
Wow. So Pearson is not even a lock to make it.
I think I said Pearson.
Oh, you did.
Yeah, I think Pearson's a lock.
Eli
Morgan. And Morgan's a lock. He's a lock.
Okay. So maybe 5 locks, which still opens 3 spots.
Yeah. And it'll probably be 1 or 2 of these guys on here, and then somebody else that they add.
And not to mention they've signed at least 3 minor league free agents.
Yeah, they're working on depth.
Yeah,
but this is the kind of depth that I'm talking about. I'm talking about depth where you could go to a guy to close for a while, right? You could go, that not depth in volume, depth in stuff and closing and late inning experience.
Yeah, well then there's definitely 3 names in the 1-year tier there that I think do that. Yates, Robertson, and Jansen. And the last 2, besides Yates, we haven't really heard anything about anyone. So I think it's going to be a surprise when someone signs with any team, much less the Cubs. Bob Nightingale, Sam, in his piece in the USA Today on Tuesday, did quote an agent who said he thinks the relief market is going to start moving quickly.
Good.
Maybe later this week or this weekend. Coming up next, we have MLB Network's top 10 list are starting Tuesday. So I want to go over, where could we see Cubs on those lists, or who even should be in consideration? Stay tuned. Today's episode is brought to you by Rocket Money. Did Rocket Money help you find any subscriptions you forgot about or that you were paying for twice? That definitely happened to me. I had a few subs that I didn't even realize I was still paying for, and Rocket Money made it so easy to track them all down. It's like having a personal assistant for your finances. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. It brings everything together in one place, whether it's subscriptions, spending habits, or even the goals you want to hit this year. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/lockedon today. That's rocketmoney.com/lockedon. Beginning this week, MLB Network is publishing top 10 lists for every position, including starting pitcher and relief pitcher. So 30 teams, hundreds of guys, Sam, only 10 players per list. But despite that, I think the Cubs, in my opinion, I think maybe as many as 7 guys might be considered here. And I think that would be a really nice representation. So I guess, is it ascending or descending order? From most deserved or most likely or whatever we want to describe it as, I have a list in front of me. Would you like to take a shot at, okay, where will we see Cubs on a top 10 list for just their position?
Is it outfield or specifically left, center, and right?
No, it's specific to 9 offensive spots plus starting pitcher and relief pitcher.
And DH?
Right.
Okay, Hap will be on a top 10 left fielder.
Yes.
Seiya should be top 10 DH.
Agreed.
Tucker for sure, top 10 right. That feels fun to say.
I would almost say those are 3 locks. Then I have a 4th lock. Actually,
is it NL only or league wide?
No, league wide.
I think Steele and Imanaga should get top 10 pitcher consideration, but I think Imanaga will probably get the nod.
Okay, I think Steele should definitely get it.
I think they both should be top 10, but I was just looking at FanDuel odds today for Cy Young.
Yeah.
And I think Steele's like he's not top 10, I don't think, in the NL. So then would he be top 10? So I don't know.
Top 10 all of baseball for pitchers would be hard.
Yeah, I think one of them will get on there. What's your other lock? Bush?
No, top 10?
First baseman?
For all of baseball? No shot.
What's your other
I would
lock?
say Swanson is short.
Yeah. Ugh.
And then I thought maybe, I don't know if they're going to be on the list, but they would be like receiving votes. Horner at second.
Maybe.
And maybe a vote or two, PCA in center.
Probably not yet.
Yeah.
Maybe, though. I think Bush will get – I think you'll be surprised. The first base has become pretty weak.
Really?
Yeah, well, let's just humor ourselves for a bit here.
Are you going to go WRC plus for first baseman?
I was going to do something like that, man. I was going to do something like that here. I got fan.
No shot Bush would be in consideration for first. Sorry. I like the guy, but no.
Oh, this is like team stats. All right. Forget it. I'll just
But I think that's good representation. Tucker, Swanson, Happ, Seiya, Steele, Horner, and PCA. And maybe Imanaga.
Just looking at this here. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's good representation. And I think Tucker
for sure will be on.
I don't know what they consider some of these guys in terms of like right fielders. Because do they consider Soto a right fielder or a left fielder?
Yeah, probably right field.
So then Soto would be ahead of him. And if they count Judge at right or over center, basically there's like 2 or 3 guys ahead of him. I looked at his Fangraphs MVP. He's in the top 5 for NL odds.
What?
Yeah.
So top 5 MVP on FanDuel.
FanDuel. Sorry.
Kyle Tucker's on there.
Absolutely.
Well, that's outstanding.
Here you go. I'll give it to you right now. I pulled it up right away.
Currently, when was the last time the Cubs had someone that high up?
Ohtani, Soto, Tatis, Betts, Tucker.
Wow, love it. Now that's exciting, people.
NL Cy Young is Skeens, Wheeler, Sale, Snell, Burns, Cease, Glasnow, King, Alcantara. You got a while to get to Imanaga's down that list, and then Steele you can get at plus 3,500, which, by the way, I think is a great bet.
Yeah, it is. Wow.
Why is Sonny Gray ahead of Steele?
It's almost inappropriate.
Yeah, I agree with that. Why is Christopher Sanchez the same odds as Steele? I know Sanchez had a good year, but
coming up next, we're going to get to 0 to 100. First time in a while. Stay tuned.
This episode is brought to you by Game Time. Whether it's a Cubs game, a comedy show, which you and I both like to go to, or a concert. I love going to live events, and now Game Time is a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets for your favorite live events even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets. The experience of searching for and then buying tickets on Game Time is simple. Plus, Game Time is the only ticketing app that gives you complete peace of mind with your purchase. See the view from your seat before you buy so you know exactly what to expect when you arrive. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Matt, what time is it?
Game time. All right, to wrap up, we're doing
Man,
zero.
what a clean ad read.
That was great. 0 to 100 right here. Sam, I just got one question here that you got something for me.
I have one for you.
Fantastic. Then we'll get out of here. 0 to 100, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. signing an extension with the Blue Jays.
Oh, wow. I don't really care too much about the Blue Jays, but let me think.
Vlad and Kyle Tucker, top free agents.
Is he represented by Boris? I don't know. No. I don't know, Matt. I don't know.
I think it's low.
40.
Yeah.
40. Let me do one for you.
Yeah, please.
A Cubs related one. 0. What am I going to ask you next about
next I was going to ask you, where does Vlad end up?
I was going to ask you about the 78 Supersonics.
What do you think Vlad is playing for in 2026? Give us a call.
Maybe us. 0 to 100 based off of what we just said, because this is what I was thinking about doing for my next solo show whenever we decide that is. 0 to 100 that the Chicago Cubs in 2025 have a top 5 MVP and Cy Young.
I think that's a great question. I get excited thinking about it because I think Justin Steele might win the Cy Young this year.
No, I think Justin Steele at 35 to 1 for Cy Young is something I will be investing in.
I'm going to say 70%.
Oh, that's too high. That's too high.
Yeah, I'm going to say 70%.
Oh, that's high.
Optimistic Cubs fan over here.
No, there's optimistic, and then there's that. I'm going to – no, listen, I hope you're right.
Tucker and Steele, top 5?
Yeah. That's high. I'm going to say 70%. So –
wait, what?
Yeah, the more I think about it, I don't think it's that high. If Tucker puts
the 5th place spot, I mean,
Tucker top 5, I actually think Imanaga or Steele top 5 is likely one of those two.
Yes.
And then Tucker top 5. No, let's I was originally going to say about 45%, but you know what? I'm trying to be more positive at 25. I'm going to go with 70%.
Well, the first number I thought of was 65. I decided to round it up to the next whole.
I'm going to go with 65%.
Okay. Thank you. And thank you so much for checking out this edition of Locked On Cubs.
That's high.
20 to 30 minutes. And we'll give you all things Cubs with a laugh or two along the way. Be sure to hit subscribe on YouTube, smash the like button for the algorithm, and leave a 5-star review on Apple, Spotify, and everywhere you get your podcast. It's that time of year to warm up in some Cubs Kool-Aid.
Okay, let's move on.
He's Sam Olber. I'm Matt Cozy. This is Locked On Cubs.
I haven't had Kool-Aid in a while.